Morning, everybody. We are being formed. We are being formed. Now, God's goal is that we would be formed into the image of His Son. God made us in His image, and we are like Him in our reasoning abilities, our moral abilities, our social desires and abilities. We are like God. But that image has been deformed. The image has been tainted. The waters have been polluted within us. And God's goal is to cleanse us, and God's goal is to bring us back into the image of His Son. But we're not starting from a clean slate. Like, we have already been tainted. We are already deformed, because Paul puts it in a different way. He says, don't be conformed to the pattern of this world, but transformed by the renewing. But how do you do it? How do you change the soul? How do you be reformed into the image of the Son? There is a part we play in it, and there's a part that God plays in it. And it's really kind of the key is not to mix up the two. We can't say it's all God, nor can we say it's all me. And it's kind of distinguishing the difference. So, like, God uses a thing that the theologians or whoever call it the means of grace, which means that God can give grace to anybody, anytime, in any situation, and He does. But normally He uses certain means, such as prayer, such as obedience, such as the scriptures, fellowship, and different things like this. And there are, like, various Christian disciplines that over centuries have been used, and people have borne witness that through these, God has used them to reshape us and to form us into the image of His Son. So we don't dismiss those at all. But on their own, they're not good enough. On their own, they cannot bring us in. Otherwise, it's just kind of a works program. And, one of the tenets of Christianity is man is not able to save himself. He's not able to forgive his own sins, but he's not able also to sanctify himself or to bring himself back to wholeness and back to restoration. The nursery rhyme hymn is Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't but Humpty together again. Like, man had a great fall, and he's not able to put himself together again. He needs God. And there's a part of us where we must come before the presence of God. The Bible term is abide in me. And as you do, you are basically putting yourself in a place where God can form you. As God told Jeremiah, He says, I want you to go to the potter's house and watch what the potter's doing. And when Jeremiah went there, he sees the potter on the wheel, and the potter is making the clay vessel. And then it gets damaged in his hands. And he was going to make a tall vase like this, but it got damaged. So what he did was he reshaped it and made it into a sort of a bowl instead. And God says, can't I do that? Can't I reshape it this way into a very useful vessel? And, what do? We have to put ourselves on the wheel. We have to put ourselves in a place where the potter can put his hands on us and form us. And we do that in really what are the Christian disciplines. And this is the balance. Don't mix them up. I cannot save myself. I can't by saying I'll do more prayers, I'll do more Bible reading, I will determine stronger, to be the type of person I know I'm supposed to be. You can't do that. But we just kind of submit ourselves to God and let Him form us. And He does form us, and He does shape us into the image of His Son. Okay? God bless.